In AC circuit, earlier we have seen that alternating voltage or alternating current can be produced by changing the magnetic flux, and the sources of AC EMF or AC current are called AC source. But AC circuit, to understand the AC circuit, it is easier to study the AC circuit by phasor diagram. In class 11, we have studied about a scalar and vector. Now another kind of quantity we are introducing now. Those are the phasors, means rotating vectors representing alternating current and voltage are called phasors. A diagram which represent alternating current and alternating voltage of same frequency as phasors with the phase angle between them is called the phasor diagram. Here in the diagram which is in front of you, that is the phasor diagram of an RLC circuit that we will see the later on. First, AC through resistor. Here see, a resistor is connected with an alternating source. Let the instantaneous voltage supplied by this source is V0 sin omega t. So when due to this source current will pass through this circuit. Since it is a resistor, so some voltage drop will take place here. Now if we use the Kirchhoff's rule, that is this instantaneous voltage must be equal to the voltage drop across this R. So what we can write, V0 sin omega t equal to IR, and from here I equal to V0 by R sin omega t, where R is the resistance. This V0 by R is the peak current denoted by I0. So I equal to I0 sin omega t. So this equation is of instantaneous current. See the equation 1 and equation 2. There's no any phase difference between instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current. So we can say in the resistive circuit, voltage and current are in same phase. It means if one will increase at the same time, another will also increase. Here see the graph. This we can say how it is. It is the voltage and current. This one is the phasor diagram of purely resistive circuit. Now what is the instantaneous power and average power? Instantaneous power dissipated in resistor is P equal to I square R. So here we can write this one is I naught square R sin square omega t, because I equal to I naught sin omega t. It is the instantaneous power. Average power is average of this, and average of sin square omega t. How we can find this value? for the whole time period, that is t. So maths children will do the integration of sine square omega t dt, but the non-maths children, here sine square omega t, if we break this one, it will be half of 1 minus cos omega t, and 1 minus cos omega t, its average is 0, because the value of cos for the full time once it is in the positive half and in next half it is the negative half, so average will be 0. So the average power is half of I naught square r, and this I naught is root 2 of IRMS, which is the virtual current or the effective current. So it is IRMS square R. It is about the resistive circuit. Now if we see the inductive circuit, if the instantaneous source is applied through an inductor means at the time will, here the current variable, we can say it is voltage is varying with time, means flux linked with this inductor will change, so it will induce an EMF, that is the back EMF. Again, if we use the Kirchhoff's rule in this closed loop, that is instantaneous applied voltage and back EMF must be 0. Now what is the back EMF? We know it is minus L di by dt. So by using Kirchhoff's rule, we can say V naught sine omega t minus L di by dt equal to 0. Or from this equation, di by dt equal to V naught by L sine omega t, or di equal to V naught by L sine omega t dt. So again here the integration, now I equal to, we have to integrate this V naught by L sine omega t dt. And this value we will get here V naught by omega L minus cos omega t. See this one, voltage by sum, it is the resistance offered by omega L by the inductor called reactance. So hindrance or resistance offered by inductor is called reactance, denoted by X. There are two reactants. One is reactance due to inductor called inductive reactance, and the reactance due to capacitor called capacitive reactance. So I equal to I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2. Here minus cos omega t, we can write sine omega t minus pi by 2. Thus here see the current, instantaneous current is I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2, and the instantaneous voltage is V naught sine omega t. So we can say current lags behind the voltage by pi by 2. See here, at when t equal to 0, voltage is ahead than current by angle pi by 2. And at pi by 2, voltage will be maximum and current will be minimum, and so on. And here this right hand side is the phasor diagram. See, it is the voltage, instantaneous voltage, if you see V naught sine omega t, and current is, phase is omega t minus pi by 2. So we have to, in opposite side, current is at angle pi by 2. Now see, it is for the 1 marks reactance, or we can say inductive reactance, resistance or hindrance due to inductor, denoted as XL, equal to omega L, and omega equal to, we know, 2 pi nu L. Now see, what is the instantaneous and average power in an inductive circuit? If we remember the class 10, that is power equal to VI, voltage into current. Here V equal to V naught sine omega t, I equal to I naught sine omega t minus 5 by 2. Now if we simplify this equation, this instantaneous power, we will get minus V naught I naught sine omega t cos omega t. We can multiply its numerator and denominator by 2. Then what we will get? Half of minus half of V naught I naught 2 sine omega t cos omega t. And we know 2 sine theta cos theta is sine 2 theta. So this will be minus half V naught I naught sine 2 omega t. Now the average power. Average power we have to average over a complete cycle. So, and the average of sine 2 omega t over full cycle is 0. So, there's no power, average power supplied to an inductor over one cycle is 0. So, this much is about resistor and inductor